Hi. Oh, I should watch my waving before I just like destroy my camera, right? Yes, Adam, I did see the new little character that you posted in Discord. I don't think the hair looked bad at all. I don't know why you were that concerned about it. One of my like spokes on my chair is like stuck. Okay. Right. The character that you posted on Discord. And I thought the headphones were fun. So I mean, whatever you were self-conscious about, I don't think you have anything to worry about. Somebody had their starting soon at for 20 minutes. Yeah, I try not to leave it up for too long, especially if I see like people already like dropping by and just waiting. Right, we're doing the Batcat again. It's so close to finish that I feel really good about it. It's like one of those paintings that like it just dragged on and on and on until it didn't, and now it's like whoosh, so close to finished. Okay. It's tickling me. all my favorite brushes out and ready. And I'm gonna be doing the spider details on the cat if I have time. And it's probably the last time this one's gonna be on here, on the stream, because even if I don't get it totally finished tonight, I'll definitely finish it before the next stream, which means that I'll be starting new paintings. Need to do a quick little mute here so I can hit the painting with a duster. All right. There we go. Alrighty. Starting new paintings is exciting. Yes. Especially because one of them is a I need to buy one that's like a rechargeable, like reusable duster so I can stop using these disposable cans, because that's just not good. I could be smarter about it. Finish the color in session today. Ew. Sure, I'll look at them in Discord. Post them up. The only thing I could have like maybe said about the character with the headphones is that maybe the freckles could have been a little bit more spread out. I think they would have looked more natural if the freckles were more spread out. Still really cute though. I like the like little gesture, you know, being all mischievous, pushing everybody. Should have prepped my palette ahead of time, but I didn't. Yeah. Gosh. Need to make an art store run soon. Need to get an 8x10 canvas board for one of my next paintings. It's a commission. And I want to see if they have these wooden pallets back in stock. I want more than just one. Especially since I was considering like coating this in epoxy resin and putting like hairpin legs on it. It'd be like a cute little end table somewhere. Okay. Let's do it. You've mixed emotions about cleaning an oil palette. It's satisfying to scrape off the paint, but then you realize how much paint went unused. Yes. I have that problem too. But I found a way to reuse the paint. I make resin jewelry and I fill it with the recycle or disposed dried out paint. And it makes like this fun, like almost like a really like speckled granite kind of look in some of it. And I can mix it with like shimmery powders and metal leaf and stuff. It comes out really fun. So, you know, it's not being used as paint, but at least it's being used. I did. I think it's in the crafts channel. Yep, it's in the crafting channel. Yep. The most recent ones are in there on like little like tags with my little logo on them. Because I plan to use them as like community rewards once I'm able to like accept subscriptions and stuff. What's a different color style? Interesting. I like the piercings. The piercings are fun. And a really cute smile too. You like the resin jewelry? Aw, thank you. You're an amazing painter, by the way. I was like stalking all over your Instagram. And let me tell you, there's no reason why you shouldn't be more confident in your stuff. It is like just wow. If I had like a scroll saw, I would really love to incorporate like dark wood and stuff into the resin jewelry, but I don't have a scroll saw or even a place to really keep one at this time. But what? Oh, Adam. It's not a competition. We're all winning here. Just because something's different doesn't mean it's better. Or worse, or anything. I mean, we're in like totally different categories of self-expression. Though you are trying to bring me over to the dark side by asking me to paint your character on your profile picture. Which you wanted to see my interpretation of it, but I mean, I feel like a little bit of the source material needs to be expressed in something like that. That's like an interpretation of something like that. So it would still have, you know, some of its original spirit, you know? I mean, that's just my personal philosophy on something like that. I'm gonna make art in order to post more, but overall, I like watching other artists create more than showing stuff. Gotcha. I mean, whatever makes you happy, you know? But I mean, you had quite a lot of stuff. Like it looks like you're able to like discipline yourself into doing more than even me, honestly. You had a lot of stuff on there. It was like all like very consistent. This is the other image. It's bad, don't judge. You gotta stop saying your stuff is bad. She's so cute. Why are you saying it's bad? Me with my speeches. Well, that's because I want you guys to love your stuff. Hello. See. How do you want me to say that? I don't want to butcher it. Can I just say the second half of your name Rulo? It's a bad rendition? I don't think so. I think she was super cute. I love the blue hair. I think you're being too hard on yourself. I think you're overthinking it and you're being too hard on yourself. Okay, well, I'm not gonna force feed you some self-love. You gotta learn that on your own. But I'm here to say my opinion is that it was nice. I liked it. I thought it was super cute. And I think just saying that something's bad isn't gonna encourage you to like grow. Thank you for complimenting your art. Of course. I believe in positive reinforcement. Like if I thought something about it was off, I would tell you. Like when I told you that the character with the headphones, I thought that the freckles could be a little bit more spread out because it would be more natural. So I'm not just sugarcoating everything just to be nice. Or I'm not sugarcoating. I'm not just saying stuff to be nice. Sure. I mean, everybody starts somewhere. Once I get a little bit more comfortable, you know, here, I might bring over my binder that has stuff from when I was in junior high in it. It was like an assessment binder for talented art classes. What color am I gonna make the spider? Well, the reference I was looking at was like a Black Widow looking spider. So it's probably gonna be like a black spider, but with like reddish highlights with the big red spot on the booty. It's in Discord now. Your eyes are proving you right. It looks orange already. That's just the underpainting. I think that that's a great start. I mean, super cute. Little cat ears. And you even have hands. I mean, most people would not even deign to do hands starting out. I sure as hell didn't. I'd be finding all the creative ways to hide some hands. And then I went through just like a phase where I didn't want to draw people in general because I was struggling with proportions. Drawing on paper for a while. Gotcha. I mean, I didn't even get to play with digital art until I got to college. I just didn't have the resources. And they're not your strong point, which means you need to do them more. So good on you. Yeah, see? I'm the only one. I think I got this color back to where I had it before it all dried out on me. You get confused, easy? Don't we all, though? Yeah, Faye's here for all of it. And Faye's cool like that. Oh, I fixed the sounds on my stream deck that weren't working before. Let me see if I have one that'll be funny right now. Here we go. This was one of the ones that wasn't working the other day. That brings me joy. So much joy. Like the first, wait, huh? You have your first, like you have to 3/4 of. I think you might have to send it just so I know what you're talking about right now. Okay. Because I did not understand that at first. I find it hard to believe that you do this much digital art and you don't follow any other digital artists on this platform. I'm the only artist that you follow on Twitch. It's just, it's a little odd. All I'm saying. I don't really know why I needed to mix more of that color because I'm pretty sure I was done using it. Whatever. Not losing that much paint. You don't like watching other people that often? Gotcha. I mean, if only to learn like some like other like new tricks maybe. Oh, man. And keep you entertained for 3 hours straight? I don't know how. I don't know how. I have no idea what I'm doing, honestly. We're all just bumbling through life. Blah, 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 blah. Normally go into an art stream and sit there for like just 20 minutes. Say peace out. Are you watching this when you could be? Okay. So since I'm doing something different than what you do, then you find it interesting, I guess. Mostly you watch Overwatch on Overwatch YouTube videos or watch the Overwatch. You draw? Gotcha. What size is the next piece gonna be? Well, it's a commission, and the person that wants to commission it, one of my other followers. Hi, speak of the devil, Flirty Bingo. I was just about to start talking about your commission a little bit. Posted the image or that I was confused about. It's gonna be an 8 by 10. I think she's fun. I do see where like you have made improvements. Like she has a facial expression, but she kind of looks like just empty. there's just nothing there. She's kind of a shell. But still really cute. It kind of seems like hair is a strong suit for you. At least from what I've seen. Oh, she is supposed to be a shell. Well, then mission accomplished. You did good then. I need to just switch to these little guys. You went antiquing today. Oh boy. Your hand is bleeding? Oh Lord. Yeah. But take care of yourself. Please, please, please. His hand bleeding? What the heck? Like there's a story. Oh, you had a cooking accident. Uh-oh. That sucks. You got a Philco radio and a cardboard. Oh, okay. Those are the highlights of your thrifting or antiquing haul. Nice, nice, nice. It's still not bright enough. Having a big fruit. I don't know what it's called. Put the knife too far. Oh no. So like you like impaled your hand or just stabbed it a little bit? Like what are we saying when we say all the way through your palm? Oh man. It's not your drawing hand, is it? Or your dominant hand that you use for most tasks? Your left dominant? Okay. I mean, that's not as bad as if it was the hand that you're used to using for everything. So, small, tiny little silver lining, I guess. You're the type of person that can type with one hand. Well, it's good that it's not slung you down then, I guess. You have a bandage on it. How are you doing? Let's see.
I will send you to Jesus.
Still hurts. Well, I would imagine so. Big gash on your hand. Pretty sure that would hurt for a couple days. From the owner of a local antique store. You think he's gonna rent space? Ooh, exciting. Love it. So these are like homemade little radios or like refurbished antiques. Like what kind of radios exactly are we talking about here? Antiques, what's that? You know what antiques are. Old stuff. Vintage. I mean, technically vintage and antique is two different things, but you know. They're antique ones that don't work and you turn them into, ooh, Bluetooth speakers. I love that. It's so much more authentic than the ones that like are mass produced and sold to look like that. That are actual Bluetooth speakers that are manufactured to look old-timey. I love it. It's kind of like the idea of like what I would want for like my like dream vehicle would be like an old like 1970s truck or something, you know, real old with like new technology underneath all the like old fixtures and stuff. Antiques to your stuff from bloody 1999. Like, yeah, I guess we are antiques then. Yeah, born in 2007. I think before 2000 is antique, and I feel like a dinosaur.
Emotional damage.
Dinosaur? No, that's your dad. He's a pterodactyl. Does he have like a big nose or something? Ready to start sentences back in my day. I feel like I'm always starting sentences with back when I was younger. Back in the day. He just screeches like one. Why do I have a thingy? What are you talking about? He gets in from work and quack. You reply with a quack. Quackity quack quack. Where's the Stephen He memes coming from? Those paintings. Thank you. So I recently did something I've been meaning to do for a while, Adam. I added soundboard sounds to my stream deck. So I have sounds that I can play that nobody else does. Second painting you've ever seen on here, you mean? This is the second painting by me. Better than the first one. Well, yeah, the first one was supposed to be like fun and casual and kind of cartoony. I have a whole like, well, not a whole wall, but I have several paintings over behind me. And I mean, weren't you here when I was doing the little like cropped portrait study and the turtle and the frog? The frog's wearing a little hat, he's riding the turtle back. This is better than the Mona Lisa. I mean, the Mona Lisa was a painting of its time, so it's kind of weird to us now. You love the ghost one? You too. Love the wings on the cat. Yeah, Batcat. The ghost one, I actually hung it up on the wall back there. You can kind of see it over a shoulder right there. Right now, to you guys, it just looks like a dark little square, kind of. But I put like a little like leather, or faux leather, little cord on it. Hung it up because I was tired of seeing it lay on its side on my little wall shelves. So at least, you know, through till Halloween, I'll have it hanging over there. Unless somebody decides to buy it, I'll ship it. Which I had one person that thought about buying it, somebody that I know, that actually my her boss thought about buying it, but I don't know. I told her the price, and then she was like, "Oh, never mind. If I buy another Halloween decoration, my girlfriend will kill me or whatever." I'm like, "Why'd you ask? I thought I was just gonna give it to you." No, just like totally teased me on it. I mean, all hyped up thinking I was gonna sell one of these things, and then but that's all right, because it just means I have more opportunities in the future. Just like people that expect paintings to be super cheap when they take hours to finish. I know. And I underprice a lot. Like, I don't charge very much. Like most people, so I was like doing like research on like how to like accurately price artwork and stuff. And Sanzo was helping me with it. And we found that like most people, like even like new, like inexperienced artists are charging like $3 per square inch of painting. And then you add in twice what you spend on materials, and I'm not charging like that. I'm charging like half what they're charging per square inch. Like in the future I might charge more, like if I'm like in demand, but I mean, like, you know, trying to like price gouge people. What brand of paint do I use? I use kind of just a cobbled mixture, honestly. Like some of my paints are like really shitty artist loft, and some of my paints are really expensive. I've got some Gamblin. Where's the ones that are the really expensive ones? Here we go. This Williamsburg. This is probably the most expensive brand I use. And the most common brand that I use is Gamblin, Winsor Newton, and Master's Touch. Those are the most common ones that I use. But Williamsburg is like really high quality paint when I can afford it. Sure. Give it a peek. Profiles are hard though. Like I feel like it's hard to make something like engaging when it's in a side profile. Like, yeah, you have less to draw on. You don't have to worry about it being like as proportionally like symmetrical and stuff, but it's hard to like engage the viewer with a straight side profile. You're calling it a side profile? No, that's not a side profile. That's like a 3/4. I do like them. They're really good. Like a little bit of paint goes a long way with Williamsburg. It's just they're really expensive. It looked fine. Maybe if I add some more gray, it'll look right. And like, I don't think that like the person that was trying to buy that painting, the ghost painting, I don't think they expected it to be like super cheap or whatever. Because like, you know, we were like in a service industry as dog groomers together. We were always talking about like charging our worth and all that kind of stuff. So I don't think it was like the expectation that it was super cheap. It was just like, okay, this is what I'm charging. And at that moment, she just didn't want to spend what I was charging for it. Which like, for that one, since it's such a like simple, casual painting, I was only gonna charge, I think like 60 for it. Because it's not super detailed. It's just like very easy little ghosties. Tree has a lot of depth. Aw, thank you. I'm trying to like really get it to like very, really pop background. I feel like it's kind of blending in with the background just a little bit more than what I've... Obviously it's a tree. I'm trying to get like this good difference in the texture between the rest of the tree and this little spot that kind of like broke off. Like hiding behind the trunk a little bit, and it's got like a little dot right here. Trying to make these very small, brighter ribbons of like wood grain. Don't want the colors to be super... I was about to say two, and then I changed to super. Super? Super warm. Having entirely too much fun with the soundboard. Change the song. Too repetitive. I mean, I don't know. It's a little weird. I don't know if I like it. But anyway, I didn't want those little details to be too warm. Would like push forward much and like interfere trunk. It's supposed to be kind of like hiding behind a little bit. You're gonna stop drawing female characters? Why? What's wrong with drawing female characters now? Understand, you know, your witch painting would be too warm, but once the dress is done. You love the tree so far. You get called a femboy? Let me like see what that even mean. I mean, I don't know. If somebody is saying that, then that just means that they're an asshole. Lips are all chapped. Like the texture on the tree. I'm trying to make it like really like scratchy looking bark. Real gnarly. A mean tree. You wouldn't want to lean up against it. Mean tree. Oh yeah. Now it's really popping against the background. Much better. I'm definitely achieving the mean tree. Okay, back to Adam. You're saying that you don't identify as somebody who is expressing themselves as a femboy, but people are calling you that anyway because you like to draw female characters. Being the spider, you would not walk by. Just turn around and back where you came from. You'll take the Batcat with you. I mean, the Batcat is trying to catch the spider. Like, this is what I would imagine a stray cat would be like in Halloween Town. Which the sequel that I read to Nightmare Before Christmas was super freaking cute. I highly recommend if you like reading Disney novels. No, you're fine, you're fine. That's what chat's for, is to, you know, fly in between what you're doing. Don't expect immediate responses. I can always go back and reread if I forget what part of the conversation we left off in. I mean, that's just people being jerks the way people are, and I don't think you should let it stop you from doing something you enjoy, whether you like drawing female characters or male characters or furry characters or whatever. You do you. It's also just like part of being an artist, which like I wish I could practice more of what I preach, as in like not everybody's gonna like what you do, not everybody's gonna agree with it, but that shouldn't keep you from doing what you want to make. I'm too good at motivation. I just think that we should all like have space to be ourselves. We're not hurting anybody or hurting ourselves. All finished. Oh, right, you posted another picture, didn't you? Or did I already look at it? Okay, yeah, we're good. There wasn't another one. People having bad days will find any reason to pick on others, no matter whether you draw a female character or not. Just do what you want to do. Exactly. I get it. May as well look again. You posted more. Ooh, I like the mean teeth. Very fun. And the second one, she's so soft. She looks like she has like a very like sweet but kind of melancholy personality. I like her. She looks after you when you're sick, even when she hates you. Nice. About to roll over to Monday for you. Start the countdown, I guess. Desperately trying to hold on to the last 2 minutes of the weekend. And finish coloring tomorrow. Be something to look forward to tomorrow. You get to spend some time coloring. Start one now to finish tomorrow. There you go. Hey, setting yourself up for something fun to do tomorrow. Good plan. think I'm good at like cheering people on and like trying to motivate and stuff is because like I'm like I like have to like spend so much time and energy trying to motivate myself, like procrastinating and like trying to get art done. And then my husband, he like struggles with it too. Like he's really, really ADHD too. But, like I'm kind of, always cheering one of us on. Lots of practice. Trying to figure out which color scheme favorite part of the process. My favorite part of the painting process. Definitely like the like final highlights. Like when you just see everything come together and like it's like the stage of the painting where like you've put so much into it that like if you mess it up now, like it's just the worst. So it's kind of like a little bit of a rush at the same time. And like that like feeling of like the relief that you're going to feel, like that expectation of like finishing a painting. So definitely like that. I don't really like the whole like color planning either. But since I've started working on my iPad Pro more, that's definitely helped me like figure out colors. Because like on there, I don't feel like I'm wasting materials. That's just like undo. I don't have to throw away anything if I put something on the drawing that I didn't like. However, when I do like watercolors or something, I have to do that on paper because I need to like see how the colors are gonna like interact with each other and bleed together and what's gonna look right. Like, I don't feel like I can figure something like that out on my iPad. Well, I actually use Adobe Fresco. I tried to like learn Procreate enough to enjoy it, but it just I don't know, for some reason Procreate doesn't give me the same feeling. You finished the coloring you were supposed to finish later. Oh no. I know, it's like when you're in that like flow of enjoying something and you just can't stop. Like earlier today and last night, I was working on 30 Mango's commission, getting some of the colors figured out. I don't do like a lot of like detailed like value coloring. I just kind of like figure out like what kind of colors I want to use. Like, do I want to put red or green here to make this in the foreground really pop out, like that kind of stuff. Or like, I want this person to have really pale skin and this person olive skin. I think it also helps you have everything in a different layer. Shouldn't say is. Breathe out. You don't have to ask every time you need to post something in Discord. You can just post and let us know, or we'll see it. You don't have to ask permission every time. The Discord is there for all of us as a community to use. Silly. I mean, it lets me know, like, in the stream that there's something new to check out and, like, talk about here, but, I mean, you don't have to ask permission to put it there. Discord is for all of us. Even when it's not a stream day, just like, if you're doing something and you wanted to share it with the community, I always have, like, Discord on my tablet and my phone. Look, ever finding any other things in chat? Posted a new character. And you're gonna start another one. I would like the little flowers in the hair. This like new coloring style that I'm seeing, the like flatter colors that you're doing. They kind of remind me of the anime Ruby. I know that's like a 3D modeled animated show, but like the colors are very flat and like saturated. And that's kind of like what I'm seeing in the ones you've been posting today. Please remind you not to finish it. Put the pen down. Variations of green and probably yellow. The darker skin tone. Never put the pen down. Can bride from my cold dead hand. The pen shall never be. By far, it has to be one of my favorite Apple inventions is the iPencil, for sure. I know you're using a Wacom, but we're talking about or digital art pens. The pen is possessed. I love the Scooby laugh. How big is this painting? It is, I think my ruler is still in somebody else's room, but I'm pretty sure it's a 10 by 10. It's either an 8 by 8 or a 10 by 10. I thought it was 4x4 or something. You're amazed at how deep it was. I do have some 4x4 canvases. When I paint that small, I usually hold it in my hand though, instead of putting it on an easel. Although now that I've like found that I really like taping these canvas boards up higher on my easel, I might start doing that with the 4x4s. Maybe even have like more than one up here. No, I probably don't. But I might start doing that instead of folding them. Kind of hard to keep a steady hand. You're holding them and painting with the other one. Can't exactly hold my wrist to support my painting hand when I'm holding the painting itself. Into some issues there. Okay. Really looks like we got the moonlight shining on this tree. And I think it's time to start the spider. Check Discord. Check. Oh. Okay, so she looks super sweet, but she looks like you don't want to be on her bad side either. Like the two-tone eyes is giving me the like, don't get on her bad side part. Also, maybe the little pointy hair buns. Like maybe she's hiding some little psychic horns under there. They'll get you. You see a name or something on your art, it's adding it so that there's support to the color palette makers. Oh, okay. So you're not stealing? Personality is for me to ponder. Well, I'm gonna go with my instinct that she's cute with a little bit of a psycho side. I was kidding. Just since you brought it up, I was just poking fun. You've been wooden boards that you bought from Hobby Lobby. I'll take the smaller ones, smaller canvases, espresso boards on them. The psychic horns was too much, but besides that, not ever get on our bad side. Yeah. Cute with a side of crazy. That I can definitely support. If you get on our bad side, you won't ever do it again. You might end up a pile of human mush. Okay, so there was this really old manga that I read whenever I was like 16. It's called Batcat, and it's about this like assassin who like lost the woman he loved, and like some conspiracy or something, and he like defects from the assassin organization he was working for, and then becomes a bounty hunter with his friend who like makes his guns or something. Anyway, they rescue this little girl who either she was like artificially made or she was kidnapped and implanted with nanobots. And like she kind of reminds me of that character. The character you drew that we're talking about, that she's cute with a side of crazy. Yeah, you know it. There you go. Your Twitch crashed. That is what it is. Black Cat, yeah. I did say that it was Black Cat at first, but you were in the middle of your crash, so you didn't see. But yeah, that was the one. The little girl in that manga. That's what she makes me think of. She was like really, really sweet, but she would fuck you up if you hurt somebody or tried to do something bad. You've heard and read of Black Cat? Got it from the description. Yeah. If your friend's art is good or bad? And whose is better? I don't know about better, but I'll look. Let's see. Hers were like reminds me of, I mean, other than like the very sharp chin, her style reminds me of like older anime and manga. Like the only thing that's like more like the modern style of anime and manga is like the face shape. But just be supportive of each other, don't compete. Definitely, I agree. And like I feel like she's like focusing more on texture, and your stuff is focusing more on like almost that like sort of like plasticky kind of texture. I don't know how to say it. Like it translates very easily to being like a figurine almost, your style. Takes her weeks on one, and it's not a bad thing. Is she using a digital method as well, or is she doing something traditional and then transferring it onto a digital platform? She's digital too? Okay. She might just be like using a different method, like a different process for how she makes stuff than yours, which might account for some of the time. I'm missing a leg here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I know. We're good. Doesn't matter how long it takes for the process. Definitely agree. Very happy with your piece. I mean, okay, well, time does matter a little bit if you're trying to like be prolific and like profit from your art, because turnover does matter. But if you're doing it just for the enjoyment, then time is not a factor. Of it if she thinks hers is better. Not pretty. Exactly. Despite what some circles of the art world would have you think. But she's the one that got you into digital. And she wanted to know my opinion, who is better. Well, there is no better or worse. It's, you guys are on different styles. She thinks you're equals. Only make art to enjoy it. Look, I think both of them are great. So, and you're doing different styles, so yeah. Like with doing commissions, I have to think about time because, you know, some commissions have like a soft deadline, others have like an actual date. Like Flirty Mango's commission, she didn't really give me like a hard deadline. She would prefer that it's done before the end of this year, which I don't think I'll have any problems with that, especially since I'll probably be starting it this month. I don't really plan to be rotating as many paintings because the only thing I'm going to have alongside it is going to be the rubber ducks challenge. think it'd be fun to do those and get like some really fun, like smooth blends, the, like texture of rubber ducks. Seamless, creamy blends. It'd be fun. All right. Really, really bright red marking on the booty. Spider's looking great. Thanks. The part that Santa's been excited to see me paint since I started this one. Kind of like spiders a little bit, I think. Wouldn't want to go near it, but it looks great. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of spiders myself. Although I have been seeing a lot of like jumping spiders on Instagram, and like as much as I don't want to admit it, they're actually really cute. Really agree. Can handle a daddy long legs, but you're warming up to jumping spiders. And then there's the little animated spider, Kevin the spider. He's really cute. What's up, Adam? Go to pick up one the other day, and it was in your office. Took her outside. And appreciated it. Since you have nothing else to do. Another one? She kind of looks a little bit like she was inspired by the one you posted from your friend. Similar hairstyle, one raised hand, a white top. You had a lot of uncolored art. I mean, it sounded like the other day you were kind of like creating like a whole like batch of references or sketches the other day. That's your best take on your friend's art? Too good. Like, okay, so yours has like more of the feel of like digital painting, and hers has more of like a natural drawn feel. But that doesn't mean that like one is better or worse. Like that's what I mean by like they're just different. They're both really good. Both of you. Prefer the more cartoony style? He likes realistic. See, like, okay, now it makes sense. Like, that's exactly what I was trying to, like, get out. And I just didn't know, like, how to explain it. Thank you for your kind words about your paintings. Oh, yeah. Really nice and encouraging. Forgot to reply to Discord earlier. For being here and on Discord, very supportive. Aw. I mean, that's what I'm trying to make. I'm trying to make a good place for all of us. The moon really draws your eye. I'm trying here. I'm trying to do things. Everybody's brains and eyes. Mad scientist. It's all the like texture and like the like contrast in the moon, probably. Which I'll really have to put twice as much into the cat. Really get it to forward. Right, take your time. You gotta take care of your stuff. Um, They usually posts most of her stuff on Instagram. Her Instagram is like really cool and just chock full of great paintings. So you can see somehow. Maybe she has echolocation in her cleavage. She's got a lot of hair. Beg my pardon? I don't think she's seeing with her eyes. I know, I'm a horrible person for even suggesting that, huh? I'm probably not wrong. Anime has come up with stranger things than that, so. I myself am strange and unusual. I feel like my autofocus is messing with me. I don't know, it looks like my palette is sharper than my painting. Okay. I have a spider. Ugh. Gives me the willies just looking at it. Spider. Crawl out and get me. Discord's getting a lot of love from you today. Well, as it should. I like seeing what everybody's up to. Discord likes being used. You like stuff. Everybody wins. All right. Time to give Batcat its much deserved attention. Just gonna wipe off brushes real quick. Dump them in the tank. That was an indication that you added more. I guess I'm not good at picking up subtle hints then, huh? Ooh, so moody. I want that sweater. That looks like a comfy sweater. So broody. Attitude. So jealous of that sweater. Sure thing. By the time you check back in with us, and you're getting a cramp coloring. By the time you check back in with us, then you'll probably get to see a much more developed Batcat. Have fun. And welcome back. Hey. Posted on Discord. In the painting section. Or you're saying that's where you posted before. Right. Huh? Oh. You mean as in you're gonna just take a break and watch what we're doing? Got it. Got it. My bad. Look, I'm used to people channel hopping with me because it's time consuming and slow. So I don't expect people to just sit here. Spider looks great. I know, it's so creepy. Creepy crawly. Okay, back to the Batcat. Na-na-na-na-na-na. Batcat. Okay, I think I need to finish the like base layer that I had started for the Batcat's face and that last little paw. I'm so excited for this paw because it's gonna have toe beans. You're gonna see the toe beans. But I have to do those last because I really need them to like show like on top of all the fur. Okay, so when I was painting the Batcat originally, I had a lot of phthalo blue, which is completely dry. Right, somebody will be getting some blue recycled paint jewelry someday. Toe beans. Toe beans are so fun. I'm so glad that my Henry boy, he lets me massage his little toes every once in a while. my black. Dig around in my. How are my fur babies? They're good. I got a little cinnamon roll in her bed by the door. Won't say her name because she's having a good little nap. I'll wake her up by saying her name. And the other one, she likes to hide. Mabel, the little white one. So she could either be underneath the couch in the den, or she could be hiding under our bed. And if she's not in those two places, then she's probably laying underneath Dylan's desk chair, since she's not laying under mine. And you're off of school tomorrow. Cool. That is the wrong blue. There's a gas leak in your school? Oh no, that's not cool. Where's the blue that I need? Here we go. Prussian blue. That was the one, not phthalo. You miss learning? I mean, you have the internet at your fingertips. Is there something you could find to learn if you really wanted to? No. It really is, though. So dark and mysterious, and then you just give it any attention and it just voila. So very blue. Love me some Prussian blue. God, I said Russian blue. And then you have a blue Russian, which is the cat. Another cat. Or is it still Russian blue? It is still Russian blue. It's not switched. One of these days I'll get faster with my sound effects and they'll be better or more comedically timed someday. Your cat is climbing on your shoulder, so you need to get her food. BRB again. No problem. Feed the beast. Sacrifice of kibbles is being demanded. Need the warm gray. Where's the warm gray? Where are you? Green bean gray, but I don't need green bean gray. I need warm gray. Where art thou? Oh, here you are. Hiding in the big tubes. The Scooby made you laugh? Here you go. Just for the laugh. It makes me laugh every time. Just for the joy. Philosopher of the Moon? What is this? Do we desire for you to stay? I mean, more the merrier, right? We're all hanging out, having fun. Let's go conquer all the grief of this world so that they might get ease, even if it be but so brief. Curious is this world. It is certainly a curious world. Oh, okay. Got a little bit of a weeble wobble here. Okay. There, that's a little better. Just like almost flipped my palette. I don't know what happened. All right. Let's mix these kitty cat colors. You like the moon in my painting, I take it? I really like painting moons. They're a lot of fun. I've always felt like a very, I don't know, kinship to the moon. It's comforting. Especially like if somebody that I missed a lot was far away. I'm like, you know, we might be far away, but we're still standing under the same moon. And that makes you feel less far away. I'm a wolf, confirmed. I don't know. What are some other things that would make me wolfy? You seem really sweet, philosopher. The beast has been fed. You don't know what makes somebody wolfy other than the moon? I mean, the Shakespeare English, it takes a little time to get through, but I don't think it's that bad. They're just having fun. You get too confused for it. Either way. Yes. What do we got here? Oh, thank you for the follow. Thank you, thank you. You drew a schoolgirl because you miss education. Oh my gosh, I just realized, philosopher, you make my 50th follower. 50! That's a big deal. Now, once I get, you know, like a concurrent average of 3, we can get some emotes. We reached 50! 50! Yay! We'll have over double. Oh, quit bragging. So excited. Brain is unable to process simple English, much less type it. Oh gosh. Some kind of deity or something? I mean, in the end, we all go back to where we came from, so aren't we all just part of the divine universe in the end? Oh, you know. This is why you paint. Congrats. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I can draw. That's it. That's all you know how to do. Speech of sonnets only desire to emulate. Aww. Thank you. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. It's nice to have a little extra fancy flavor in the chat. It's fun. Don't die of confusion. Aww. Whatever you gotta do to stay alive, right? I'm still just trying to figure out the colors I want to use on the kitty cat. It's a little bit too vibrant. I don't think I'll be using that one. Over there. Ah, you're officially indoctrinating Philosopher into the OC hair color choosing club. Aw. And a pick for Faye too. Thanks, Adam. That's really sweet of you. Made of hands of the moon during the noon of the day. I'm gonna say that that would be like a very like ghostly bluish white, like how the moon looks during the day. Have you ever seen the moon during the day? Or is that not something that people in Europe have the privilege of because of all the fog and humidity? You wake up at 1 p.m. Well, I mean, I think the daytime visible moon is usually visible in the afternoon anyway. You've never seen the moon during the day? Come on. We see it all the time over here. It's like a riddle. You love it. I would imagine it would be like a very like light blue. Because the moon is kind of reflecting like our atmosphere and the sunlight at that time. I think that's the answer to the riddle. I know it's taken me a long time to mix these cat hair colors. I'm sorry. I don't think I could paint while wearing gloves. I know a lot of people do, and it's probably a smart thing, but I can't. Like, I don't feel as rushed as I used to about mixing colors since I got to where the camera could see my palette better, but like I still feel like I'm like not using my time productively if I'm just like struggling with a color mix. Do you care for a puzzle of mine? So I did one for you. Solve before the end of this lifetime. Oh goodness, a challenge. What will philosopher think of next? You're doomed, but go for it. Already made the English part of your brain explode. Okay, I think I just need to lay down some dark fur and kind of wing it from here. Oh, the riddle. Here we go. Okay. A dying man, 3 men, sit with him to. One man is of hatred, beauty, the other of grace and ugliness. Last, with wisdom and destruction. The dying man, how shall I lead my next life? They all whisper their answers in his ear before he died. The next life, man lived beautifully, full of love, peace, wisdom, and grace, which 3 men the dying man listened to. They only listened to one. Yeah, I'm thinking it's himself. Let me look through the 3 men again just to double check. Yeah, I think it's himself. I agree. It's a good answer. And you were over there saying your brain was broken. Give yourself a little credit. The picture of the kitty cat again. Life is the grandest riddle of all, is it not? You could flip your lid. Emotional regulation here, Adam. It's just a chat through a computer screen. We're good. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the answer is that the man listened to himself and he had a good life. So we just need to listen to ourselves, and that's the answer. But you're still thinking about it. I'll be this lifetime for you. Destiny sings kind songs. You know, it's been kind of up and down, but for the most part, it is a positive life. Oh, my brother's trying to call me. He always calls me on stream days. I'm just gonna text him real quick. Let him know that I'll be done in 45 minutes. I told him to call back in 45 minutes or come to the stream. Little bro. If the dying man listened to himself, why ask the others in the first place? You're thinking it, but it's fun. Well, I mean, sometimes you have to hear other people's opinions before you know, like, the right choice to make for yourself, you know? Pondering be the most enjoyable. Like, the moon flying through the stars just to feel a glimpse of infinity itself. I could totally picture that being like a poetic caption to the moth with a lamp meme. Even I'm struggling? Just clicked on the wrong handle. You already are an author. That's right, because you write stories for your little OCs. That's right. Most awesome. Posted. I was looking. Ooh, yeah. I love the gold eyes with the blue hair. Like it's a really good contrast. The confusion made you do this. Yeah, she came out really cute. And the little stars just kind of like bring the whole like celestial thing together. It's great. I saw. That's really nice of you to put the invite in there. Can you tell me I need to add the link buttons to my stream deck or something? I can be a good little streamer. You want to find your own style that fits just you. I mean, you're still young, so you got plenty of time for that. Faye's probably gonna pick a purple color, I would imagine. Both of us, our favorite color is purple. Oh! Prove me wrong and pick green. I see you. You were thinking purple, but you're working with green, so you want to see more green stuff for inspiration. Got it. Good strategy. Gotta keep the creative juices flowing. Batcat is so cute. Santo kind of had a problem with how his tail is sticking up, but I drew it like that because of like cat behavior. Like he's excited and happy, so his tail's sticking straight up. And he thought it was stupid. Then I was like, why are you bringing up something I can't change? You shut up. You can't handle how cute it is. It's pretty awesome. I'm like sort of like modeling him after a photo of a Maine Coon. Figure a spider that's gonna be, or a spider, a cat that's gonna be flying and hunting a spider or playing with a spider, especially a spider that big and scary. He better be a big cat and confident like a Maine Coon. So plus like they have their like own wild, mysterious character to them because they're like one of the like lesser domesticated cat breeds. Also, I just like how big and chunky their feet usually are, which I think I kind of messed up at some point because this foot is looking really, really fat compared to that one. Although that is the foot that's furthest away, so I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't think about it so much, but here we are. Maybe I can fatten up this foot a little bit more. Cool. Okay. Next color. I'll cut it to 6 to 8 more minutes than that. Still need to color it though. Mr. Speedy Artist over here. Cranking out little characters. I certainly hope that the commission of Dracula and Medusa, or Lady Dracula and Medusa, live up to their hype. The commission. Hopefully I haven't raised expectations beyond what I can deliver. Still haven't applied the first full. The eyeliner thing's kind of funny, I think. When I use my iPad, like I have like a layer that's just the background, a layer that's the like figures and their clothes and stuff, and then like any like props or extra stuff would be its own layer, like usually like the foreground. But I use a lot of mixer brushes, so like it's like a more natural process to me as like mixing paint, like wet on wet process. So Flirty Mango's commission is like a gothic style portrait of a female Dracula, styled like the Bela Lugosi Dracula, with a Lady Medusa as the significant other to this femme Dracula. Ooh, interesting dark green hair. Haven't seen very many dark hair colors from you, Adam. Fun. You spread out the freckles on that one. Took my advice on this one. Anyway, I was talking about like when I like digital paint and color. I like using mixer brushes because it's similar to how I paint wet into wet, like in traditional. Pick another hair color, just so everyone's included. Okay. How about let me look through so I don't pick something that's already been picked. Don't want anyone left out. I think like nice like cherry red roots that like are like umber down to like dark purple. I think that would be fun. Pretty. Make it difficult for the almost dead teenager. If you don't want to do that, then you can switch it up. Artistic license, by all means. That's fine. I only picked 2 colors because last time you were insisting on 2 colors. Oh, I gotta roughen the little face. It wasn't 1 in the morning. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Sorry, my memory did not factor in time. Brush shadows and like little face. Putting on your gloves so you won't be able to check your phone for a bit. No worries. You'll look at Discord stuff later. Kitty cat with a long, long nose. Like my Henry boy, who's not in the room. Kind of hard to. Dark on dark colors. Made it to the highlight stage. Oh, Roxy, it's not time for your dinner yet, sweetie.
What the dog doing?
Okay, you can still type with gloves. I wanted to ask, but I didn't want to like interrupt your flow. So the gloves are because you don't want to get the paint on your hands, I'm guessing? I have a white computer setup. Like my mouse and keyboard are white and silver, so I'm always like double wiping and making sure I don't have paint on my hands. Dylan would blow a gasket if I got paint on these really nice peripherals. just want to add just a little bit more, like a gold highlight. The thing about feeling any wet substance of any kind on your fingertips weirds you out for some reason. Hey, we all have sensory issues, I'm pretty sure. So while that's not one of the ones that bothers me, I do get it. Like my brother-in-law, for instance, literally will barf if he's like cleaning and like cleaning the kitchen and touches like some wet food or something. I'm like, yeah, I don't like it either, but like sometimes it just has to happen. Like, until I actually saw him like cleaning up after his kids ate one time, I didn't believe him until can't be bothered to do the red into the purple. No worries. But like, until I literally like saw him gagging over his own sink, I was just like, there's no way. Like, he's just saying that to get out of doing dishes. And then I actually saw it and I was like, wow, that is visceral. Two shades of purple instead. I mean, if I have to choose between red or purple, I'm glad that you chose purple. I love purple. You had instant ramen for lunch today? I'm surprised stuff like that isn't banned in Europe. Like, isn't butter banned in like Switzerland or something? Or Sweden? Need a stronger brush than that. Dunsies. You won't gag, but shake your hands around dramatic. It was always like that until you cut your finger one day really bad. Our overt is sensitive to any sensation, and it developed to the point where like any wet sensation on your fingertips, fine with the palms, but it's the fingertips, okay? Completely psychological. You're sure you can someday unlearn it? Maybe. Pain in my arm. What else is new? In Discord. Why is she so nervous? She looks embarrassed. I actually really like that hair color. Like, if a hairstylist wouldn't look at me like I was crazy, I would, and I had the money to go and have my hair professionally colored, I would be like, I want that hair color. Yep. But I'm pretty sure a stylist, unless they're also, by some miracle, another anime fan, would probably look at me like I'm crazy. I do have one friend that I used to work with in the grooming salon who used to do hair, used to do human hair, that I could probably show that to, and they would be, oh, this is totally normal. She's real big into anime. She even went to like one of those like host clubs. She's got some stories about that. I think it was like a host club in New Jersey or maybe somewhere in New York City, maybe? I don't know. Very colorful character. Why should I care what they think? I shouldn't, but it happens. Oh yeah, he's here for every stream, even if he's not like actively in the chat. He doesn't miss a stream. Married a very supportive man. Oh no. Probably not. I think he's in the middle of a competitive game. I don't know what game he's playing. You suggesting I get up from the stream to go ask? Foxy, it's not time yet. Please let me paint. He plays a lot of different competitive games. Like he usually gets on like a phase where he just like has 2 or 3 specific games that he keeps playing until he gets bored of them. Okie dokie. Look forward to looking at it. That is a very tiny, difficult to paint cat nose. Stick these toe beans in there. Love black cats with pink toe beans. Overall, it's looking good. Oh, thank you. I like kind of procrastinated the face on the cat. I don't know. Okay, now I know why that foot is not as fat as the other one. It's like slightly turned a little bit. Not really reading that way though. Maybe I just need to draw in that extra toe. I can definitely say that this is going to be finished before the next stream. Like, I might finish it tomorrow, actually. Although, I should probably go out and do some shipped orders and make some money. Oh, wait, no. This is a 3-day weekend for us, so I probably will finish it tomorrow and do shipped orders on Wednesday and Thursday. Get my commission sketch transferred Thursday night. Especially since I'll be out, I can pick up that 8x10 canvas board. Yeah, it all works out. We're good. We're good in the neighborhood. Because this week is drill week for the vase that Dylan works on. So he gets a comp day or complimentary day to make up for having to work the weekend, next weekend. Oh, no. You get off my chair. I am painting very tiny little kitty parts here. You cannot be jumping on my chair. Not this week. Are we giving applause for the toe beans? Or is that part of the music? I'm still so excited that we reached 50 followers. That much closer to some emotes. Emotes. I get out the tiny brush? Whatever. Hey, I'm really excited. The big Favo. Although, so there's kind of a weird thing. On here, on my stream manager, and on like my follower count on my profile, it says the count that's here, 50. But on my creator dashboard, it's off by like 1 or 2. So I'm a little worried that like there's some sort of like miscount somewhere, and like maybe Twitch is gonna be like, you're not really at 50. Maybe. I mean, I've looked at it multiple times. Like it's been like that for like weeks. I'll definitely try it and see if it fixes it. The last one's in Discord. We added a guy this time. Angsty guy with the sort of bird motif going on. Look at you go. The longer I look at the spider, the more I like it. Okay. I think philosopher. Do the best drawing. You really like that one. Yes, it is. It is super cute. I can definitely see why that's the one you like the most. It's a good sign if I like it the more I look at it. Yeah. No, I got it. We're good. feel like I'm going cross-eyed, trying not to mess up this eye. That's why Philosopher Moon is a deity, the god of the keyboard. Nobody can type as good as Philosopher. I'm sure that they appreciate that, or would. I don't know, hanging out with us, but definitely a wordsmith, that one. So the cat, it still looks like a little blue cat-shaped blob, but I'm gonna finish it tomorrow. It's really gonna be jumping out. It'd be good. Lasted 2 hours without sleeping. You know, I don't feel bad or anything if you do fall asleep. I mean, bye-bye. Okay, have a good night. I hope you get some rest. Thanks for hanging out with us. I'm gonna get 5 hours of sleep. Might try and squeeze in a few little lighter values before I end. If the dog that shall remain nameless, I'm not getting her attention right now, manage to stay quiet for a couple extra minutes. Because I want to try and get it while the paint is still wet. Looks awesome. Oh, thank you. I'm being quiet, just really focusing, not messing up these details this far in. Alrighty. Also, like, my energy starts dipping a little bit towards the end of the stream. I've been here for a few hours. Oh. Breath. Hold my breath a little bit during those big details. You decided no on the sleep? You're gonna wait until I end? I'm about to. I just wanted to squeeze in a few extra little highlights so that everything kind of had same value range. Not quite matching, but I didn't want to leave with it just being a dark blob. Currently dying of no sleep. All right, I'm gonna end. Okay. I'm gonna quit fussing with it. Oh my goodness. Well, it's nearly finished. So definitely doesn't need another stream for it to be finished. So I'll be coming back with 2 new paintings to be having fun with everybody here. It's gonna be the rubber ducks from the challenge channel and the commission for Flirty Mango. So look forward to, wait, today's only Sunday. So I have 1 day to get everything I need. Whatever, I'll make it work. So look forward to Tuesday. Actually, I might just do a game stream on Tuesday. I have a break in between starting or finishing this and starting another one. So, okay, yeah. I think I'm gonna finish this tomorrow on my own time. I'm gonna do a game stream on Tuesday. And then, there's a new computer game I kind of want to get. And it's only like $8. So it's not a huge, outrageous price for a game. And then Friday I'm gonna start the 2 new paintings. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Game stream on Tuesday and new paintings on Friday. There's only 3 of us here, so I'm not gonna raid. I did look it up so that I would know at least the steps. But it's only 3 of us. So. Rubber duckies. They're gonna be started on Friday alongside 30 Mango's commission. And they're probably gonna be like on a canvas this size or on one this size. So it's gonna be a smaller one. So yeah, the rubber duckies are finally coming to the stream. Well, yeah, I'm gonna start the commission first, and like, you know, that one, it's gonna be like early stages, so I'm gonna have to wait for a layer to dry, at which point, you know, if we get to that point in the stream, we'll be working on the rubber duckies to give that layer time to dry. But Adam, Adam, you need to sleep, and I need to feed the dog that is currently telling me how she's just starving to death. She's wasting away. So.
What the dog doing?
Come say hi. And come say goodbye. Come here. Come here. Come say goodbye. Come on. Come on. Come say bye. Come on. Come here. Come on. There you go. Stand up and say hi. You're not gonna fall. I gotcha. Bye bye. Stop it. Stop. Thinks I'm gonna like push her out of the chair, but she's trying to like turn towards the chair. She's like, just put me down and feed me already. Oh, you're so sweet, puppy dog. Okay. Bye, everybody. You want your food? You want your food? You want to eat? Come on.